first ever NASCAR race review, and it is at Pocono, and this is on the pedal. Welcome into On the Pedal. This is the first ever NASCAR race review video that we've ever done. So, yeah, I guess let's get into it. This is not new, and the only reason that my voice sounds a little like depressed is because this race was not a good race. In this video, we will put the race on the review meter, and we will give you all the race results as well, who finished where, and what to expect for today's race, because this video is coming out on Sunday, what to expect for it. But first, let's talk about the race overall. So it starts off, and we get a 1 hour, basically an hour or 45-minute rain delay, which is fine because I was watching the movie, so that was good for me because it didn't really bug me. And then we get green. We get going on the racetrack, and we have to wait 9 laps around Pocono under caution. And the race hasn't even started yet. 9 laps. And then we go green. And then for the first few laps, stage 1, it was like strategy. Like who could have the best strategy was kind of what it was. And then it got more to a non-strategy race towards the end. But anyway, Eric Almirola led most of stage 1. Then he pitted, and then the strategy came, and every car was on a different strategy, and whoever could play the strategies the best. I'm going to get better lighting here. Really bad lighting. I guess that's what we're going to have to deal with for this video. Sorry. But it was whoever can play the best strategy would win the race, and then it came down to it, and then strategy didn't matter. Whatever, stage 1 ended, and it was a very boring stage. I didn't watch most of stage 1. I rewatched it later on in the day. Stage 2, I watched all of it. It was a boring stage again. I really have to fix this. That's better. But it was a very boring stage again. And, I mean, that's just how it was. It was another boring stage. I mean, it wasn't a terrible race, but stage 2 and stage 1 were just strategy, and I like strategy races, but when a strategy takes over the race, I'm not the biggest fan after that, because that's what happened. The strategy took over the NASCAR race today, and it did. Bryn, not the best. And then stage 3, strategy was in the beginning, and then a caution came out, and everyone came to pit lane, so there was no longer much strategy in the race. So, figures it was a strategy race, and then in stage 3, no strategy. And eventually, for a while, some people didn't pit, and then had to come into the pit road and pit towards like 20 to go, and that led for this finishing result. A very boring end to the race. I thought Denny Hamlin might get Kevin Harvick at the end, but he couldn't. So here's the finishing results up on the left-hand side of your screen. Kevin Harvick will finish first. His first ever Pocono win, so that's good. We'll see if he can go back-to-back today, because this is Sunday, or whenever you're watching the race. Maybe he already went back-to-back. I don't know. And Denny Hamlin finished second. I thought he could make a run for that lead, but I really didn't want either of them to win just because of the fact that they've been so dominant this year. Those are the only 2 drivers that have won, so I didn't really like that much. Then we look over there, and Eric Almirola finishes third. I mentioned they put 4 tires on the car, and that definitely did do good for that team. Then we look over Christopher Bell. Did pretty decent in this race. Best finish for him as a rookie. So really great run for him. Then Kyle Busch did really well too. Strong day for the Toyotas today. And I really look for those Toyota cars that have struggled without practice to do good this today. Then Martin Truex Jr., Clint Bowyer, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, and Chris Buescher finish out your top 10. Great run for Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell. Thumbs up for them. Underfunded teams, and they get into top 10. Then Matt Kenseth, who we've noticed has been struggling lately. Then Ryan Blaney. Then Matt DiBetto, good run for that team. I actually had him in my fantasy live for NASCAR. And then we go to William Byron, Ryan Newman, Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kurt Busch, who had a struggling run, and Austin Dillon. And then, of course, 20th place is Ryan Preece, who will start on the pole today. And look through the rest of the field, not much more notable finishers, really. Some cars really did struggle today. And, Eric Jones had a big crash earlier with Tyler Reddick, so they seemed to struggle through the race. And it was just random points of the race. There was a wreck. But we survived the Pocono race, and now we just have to survive one more Pocono race today. Because those of you who are not NASCAR fans, Pocono is not the most exciting racetrack. Sometimes it is. We've seen in previous years some big crashes at Pocono. It's sometimes a pretty big event, but today it was just falling asleep at the wheel at this race. And I don't know, I think not tomorrow, because I'm thinking we're on Saturday. I think tomorrow will be a better race just for the fact that the teams will have a little more practice, because they don't get practice now with this new format. They haven't gotten practice, so now I think the teams will get a little more practice and be able to run better today. So I think we'll have a pretty exciting race. I was watching the truck race for a few minutes, and it's a wreck fest so far this morning. But it is really good racing, like a Talladega racing. So I'll have more on the truck race tomorrow morning or later this evening, whatever comes first. You'll know because the channel will upload that video there. Well, that's about it for this, except for the fact that we need to put this race on the review meter. Again, I do not like the name the review meter, so if you have any other names for the review meter, let me know in the comments down below. And tell me what you thought about this race as a whole, because maybe you guys are Pocono fans. I'm not a Pocono fan, so I don't know. My hair is a mess. Yeah, doing this backwards really does stink, as I said in previous videos. But anyway, let's get the grading. I'm giving Pocono a 25%. I know it's a low rating for this race, and it's my first ever rating, so you guys don't know what a high one is. But a 25% because of the fact that it did not have any excitement. Not even to get over 50. It was really low, not much excitement of a race in this one. And congrats to Kevin Harvick. That's a big storyline. Good job, Christopher Bell. Some of these teams were able to go out there and really perform well, but other of them were not able to do that. So it does matter, I guess you can say. But I'm hoping today that we have a better race and in the Cup Series, and we're already having a pretty decent race in the trucks, so maybe we'll have a good race in the Cup and Xfinity Series, but we'll see. The Xfinity Series races today, so who knows what will happen with that. But a 20% on the review meter, and that's it for me today for this video. Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Please hit that notification bell because there'll be some new videos and content coming out soon. A movie that I just watched called Lady and the Tramp. The new Lady and the Tramp, of course, from Disney Plus. The newer one, it was a Disney Plus original film that they did, and it is really good, and I will look through that movie and tell you what I think about it. And of course, I'll be looking at more movies, and I'm finishing Brady Bunch Season 4, so there'll be a ranking. And maybe AGT the editions I'll come out with as well. There's so much more content to come out in the next few days and weeks, so please hit that notification bell because it will come out. Of course, I have a NASCAR review video that will be coming out soon. Also hit that like button because I want to know who's liking the videos and who's disliking them, so please hit it. Please hit the like button. And also share this content to whoever else you think will like it. I don't know who, but just share it to someone else who might like it. Also, go check out my other videos, High School Musical Rankins. That was a pretty good one if you haven't seen it yet. And for me, it's a peace out, and I will see you in the next one.